I've kept you waiting long enough. Today we're going to compare the Moondrop MOCA to my top earbud picks of the year. And you know, when was the last time I was this excited in giving you sound quality comparisons? Oh yeah, it was the space travel. And now, this is even better. Let's get started. Selamat pagi. Good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to my review of the Moondrop MOCA, a successor to the Neko Cake, but now it delivers so much more value for the $50 price tag. As always, you're getting my own honest opinion here and please use the affiliate links in the description below to help me support the channel. Thank you very much. And now let's immediately jump into the most important aspect, the sound quality. So first things first, talking about volume on the Moondrop MOCA, this thing is around plus minus 1 click louder than the earbuds I will mention today, which should be enough for most people, and I'll be using ANC on to compare the sound quality here. Despite having different frequency response to ANC off, actually in real life they do sound quite similar, so maybe the EQ change is to compensate for the outside noise that's now blocked by ANC. But with that aside, let's bring in the comparison, and first things first, how does this compare to the $25 Moondrop Space Travel? Now, let's flash back and take a look at this graph. Firstly, the Space Travel doesn't exactly follow the Harman curve, but it's almost there until 5K Hertz and above where it's not as bright. Personally, I like brighter tunings, which is why I recommended the monitor EQ here instead, which pretty much flattens the bass. And as you can see in this next graph, we got the difference between Space Travel default, MOCA default, and MOCA reference EQ. From this graph, we can estimate that the bass of Space Travel would be similar to MOCA default, although now we got more energy at the mid 500 Hz range, also less pronounced treble on the 3 to 4K range. Now, I know that's a lot of numbers, but what does this actually mean? We're gonna take Circle by Ikutalilas, and I can say that the MOCA brings more upper mid energy to the female vocal. It's less bassy and more balanced in my opinion, and you instantly feel the sound staging opens up much wider. There's so much more room to breathe, letting you notice more of the instruments, and MOCA also resolves more detail too. Like the difference between a mute guitar strum and an open strum on the left ear, you feel that very clearly here. It's really great if you like crisp and clear tuning like I do. I still recommend the lower bass reference EQ here, but if you like a ton of bass, then there is an EQ to take care of that too. But now I'm going to keep comparing with the reference EQ, and upping the price tag, we're going to talk about how this MOCA retires my longtime sound quality recommendation, the Soundpeats Engine 4. Most of it is down to convenience because we really need to put effort to get great sound out of the Soundpeats. Like firstly, you need to change the ear tips, cost quite a bit, but it's simple enough to change. What's not simple though is EQing, because in 2024, Soundpeats has probably the least user-friendly app yet, and now they're prompting you to use the new Peats Audio app, which is honestly the same thing if you take a look at this footage, and any previous EQ is not carried over, so you have to do it all over again. It's so much hassle. Now, I'm not saying that the Moondrop app is that much better. It's pretty bare bones, and in iOS, the connection time almost takes forever, but on Android, it works no problem. The app is pretty straightforward. You can rearrange ANC settings, select nice sounding EQ presets, and customize touch control, although volume control is still not there. It's just generally less frustrating to use, and that gets back to my point. Basically, the MOCA, you're getting great sound out of the box, and you only need the app in case you want to change the bass. And that's so much less friction compared to the Soundpeats right here. As you can see in this graph, by default, the Soundpeats has a lot of bass energy and more subdued upper mid to treble. Now, my final EQ looks like this, which makes it a close call to the MOCA, but in Insane Dream by Aimer, for example, which is a darn busy track, and I can say while both doesn't struggle in separating each instruments, but the sound staging is slightly wider on the MOCA, and also, most importantly, it's less sibilant overall, especially when you increase the volume, which doesn't have to be super loud. Set them at 60% and you can already feel the difference in the S and T's of the vocal, as well as the snare hits and guitar notes. These little things makes the MOCA sound more refined and well balanced overall. Okay, upping the price even more now, we got the Huawei FreeBuds 6i with an amazing feature set, but how does it compare sound quality wise? Firstly, comparing the default EQ, the MOCA sounds much less V-shaped and more balanced. Like in this song by Yoroshika, the MOCA reveals subtler instruments such as the hi-hat, fill-in guitars, and even bass guitars Top it all off with much better vocal presentation that's more engaging and full-bodied. The MOCA wins without breaking a sweat here. And sure, you can balance the Huawei a little bit with EQ, but it doesn't change too much and it still doesn't have the sound staging and separation of MOCA. Finally, we got the Earphone Air Pro 4, which fares much better as it's more responsive to EQing. Though I found the natural preset to be pretty similar in tonality to the MOCA, so I'll be using it to compare here. And in Fearless by Taylor Swift, I think in terms of detail and separation, it's pretty neck and neck here. Bass impact is similar too, just I feel like the MOCA does the vocals a little bit better, a tiny bit less shouty on the upper mid-range, although I think anyone would be happy with both here. It just shows just how good the earphone really is, especially if you can get it on discount closer to 60 bucks. So very interesting comparison. Now, if you enjoyed the video so far, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe because I'm going to explain all Moondrop TrueWOS earbuds, including comparison of MOCA to the Golden Aegis and Ultrasonic here. For now, let's talk about the rest of the experience, starting with the unboxing and build quality. Now, unboxing is pretty straightforward. You get the earbuds itself, a charging cable, some ear tips and paperwork. But I want to talk about the build quality here because after praising the MOCA so much on the sound quality part, unfortunately, I still have to say that despite having a complete redesign, somehow the case still has that cheaper feeling to it, mostly because of the hinge that's very loose here until you click it at the end to stay open. Other earbuds with spring-loaded lids has a nice resistance, making it feel so much more premium. But in terms of material, I think it's much better now. So I like the matte texture plastic being used here, the two-tone look, and the 3 LED battery indicator up front so you can easily gauge how much battery is left. There's also a pairing button at the bottom in a splash of orange too, which is pretty cool. But I know a lot of you will love the closed design because it won't collect as much dust. But personally, I also like the open case design from Feel, Space Travel, even the old QCYT1, if you remember it. But moving on to the earbuds now, it doesn't stray too much from the previous designs. It's about the same stem size, length, and everything, although it definitely looks refined with much less visible connection points. And did you see that huge black dot there? That's an optical wear detection sensor that works amazing. Actually, even better than the Earphone Air Pro 4 that may sometimes miss because it uses capacitive sensor instead. And not only it plays and pauses music quickly, it also controls ANC mode. So when you wear both earbuds with ANC on, take one earbud out and the other side will automatically switch to transparency. Now put it back on and music will resume with ANC on. The earbuds also remember your last use setting, so when using this ANC transparency mode, when you only take one earbud out, it'll start with transparency mode, although it stays in transparency when you put both sides on. So you need to at least tap and hold once to turn ANC on. Otherwise, it's interesting how you cannot manually switch ANC modes when only using one earbud, which was possible in other Moondrop earbuds. So it is what it is. Speaking of ANC itself now, finally, MOCA is the first Moondrop earbud that utilizes hybrid ANC, which means it has two microphones, one listening to the outside noise and one listening to the leak in your ear canal. Previously, their argument is to degrade sound quality, and I don't know if they solved it or not, but I'm glad they finally arrived here. The system reduces low to mid-range noises pretty well, although the mid-range is still not as quiet as the Huawei FreeBuds 6i, but the Earphone Air Pro 4 here takes the win overall, which blocks until the higher frequencies the most. But again, it comes with more drowned in water feeling because the MOCA has the least out of the three here. So for daily use, I think this already strikes a good balance. And before you ask, yes, you can adjust the ANC strength on the other earbuds here, but honestly, they don't change too much. So they're still pretty strong. Okay, moving on to transparency mode. It sounds pretty natural here, although it doesn't catch as much of your own voice, nor does it release as much in-ear pressure as, say, the Huawei or Earphone. So when you're talking a ton, it might still be more comfortable if you just take the earbuds off. But if you just want to listen to what's around you and talk once in a while, then these will do the job just fine. It doesn't have any annoying hissing or emphasis or certain frequency range. And because of the special mic design, we'll talk about this in a bit, you will never have that annoying scratching sound when you accidentally touch the mic. Touching on the battery now. First things first, Moondrop doesn't specify it, but actually their rating is with ANC on. So 6 hours at 50% volume with ANC on is enough. Finally, more than the 4 hours we got on Space Travel, and inside the case you get around 2.5 more charges. All in all, will give you up to a week of usage. But one thing I really appreciate is wireless charging support here, which is not on the Huawei, not on the Soundpeats Engine 4, only Earphone Air Pro 4. So that's cool, we have it here. Last but not least, let's talk about connectivity. I haven't had any problems so far, and I'm very happy to say that this is the first Moondrop to be able to pass my second floor test, where I put my phone in first floor. Music plays without any interruption here in the studio. It also supports LC3 codec, which you turn on via the app. It's off by default, although I don't have any Samsung or Pixel phone to test it out for you now, but it does have gaming mode on 4 taps for any other devices, which works well in gaming sessions. One thing that would really make this perfect is multi-point connection, which sadly is not here. Well, pretty much all the competition has it. So that will be the only real downside I can tell you. But yeah, I'm actually excited to show you the new mic design that's perpendicular to a pass-through hole, which means it's not going to be affected by wind as much. We're going to test it in a bit now, so let's check it out. Okay, so welcome to the microphone test, everyone. We are now with the Moondrop MOCA. So basically, I'm outdoors with my 2 outdoor AC running just like with my previous test. But now I'm going to stand right in front of the fan like this, so you can see that I have some wind blowing at me right now. What do you think of the sound quality? Let's move on to the phone microphone and we'll see how noisy it is right now. Okay, so here we are now recording with the phone microphone. And yeah, just gonna bring the phone up a little bit here so you can catch the wind noise a little bit. But yeah, what do you think of the sound quality? I think the Moondrop MOCA fares pretty well. So it's unlike past Moondrops where the microphones are just barely usable, but now I think they are enough for daily use. And yeah, that's gonna be it for the video today. Do check out my yearly recommendation right here, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.